Good evening and welcome to Freewheeling. We're live at 5 once again, and it's the weekend. I hope you've had a chance to relax because I know that many of you are working from home. Sometimes it seems like you're even working harder, and so I hope you've given yourself some little bit of respite today and got yourself a breather and maybe taken a break from some of that cleaning and mopping around the house too. I know I have. But my name is Siddharth Vinayak Partnkar. Thank you for joining me, and I will, of course, be very quickly introducing you to my guest today on the show. And those of you who already have been following this on social media are aware that my guest is Sharad Agarwal, the head of Lamborghini India. Good evening, Sharad.
Good evening, Siddharth. Nice to see you.
I see you have the work from home look as well.
Yeah,
The
thought of looking at things in a different way. So something which I always thought that I will do sometime, but never did in past. So this is first time I'm carrying a beard.
oh, it's the first time. Okay, so
Yeah,
we get to debut your look, your new look, in a
yeah,
sense. Well, no, but thank you. I appreciate your time today. And first things first, I hope everything is safe and well with you and the family.
absolutely good so far, and we are keeping ourselves engaged, trying to use this period, to find different things which we can do as a family together at home, and stay positive.
Yeah, I think staying positive is the big message that many people are generally putting out there, and I agree with that completely. We will, of course, talk business with you as well, but since you brought that up, let me jump into it straight away with that. None of this has been in anybody's worst case scenario. There's been no preparation for something like this, so it's we all got thrown into the deep end in a sense. Talk us through it now. The work part, like I said, we'll talk about separately in terms of how you figured out the work from home for you, for the team, the coordination between all of you. But spending time at home with the family, I mean, they must be happy that you're not traveling and you've been able to give them extra time for a change.
Absolutely, because when we were busy with our work always and traveling so
Yeah.
much, we used to discuss also sometimes between colleagues that when do we get the right time to spend with the family, with daughters, and they are growing up fast, and we are really missing those important years where we can actually create some strong bond. And this is, like, I will say, a very good blessing which has come on its way. I look at it positively, and this is really giving a good time. We are having a lot of fun at home. I have two daughters, so we're playing board games, doing whatever possible we can do in this environment.
Yeah.
My daughters are hooked on to a lot of social media, so elder one especially, see, so sometimes we make TikToks, so some interesting things which we are also doing. I'm learning some new things also along with them.
Speaking of social media, I want to say smile for the camera. I'll try and get this off the screen. Okay, and I'll put that out now onto Instagram and Twitter so that people know that we're live. But
Yeah.
the good thing is the quality time with the family. I know it's tough because you're also sort of juggling that with work. It's not as if you're getting a vacation, and at the same time, there's also the housework because obviously some of the house
Yeah.
help, etc., is not around. So, are your days longer now? I feel that sometimes.
They are, but I will say that they're really enjoying this because after spending, 6 to 7 hours on different calls and work-related things, when evening I'm done, I look forward that what can I do now. So there are requests which comes from family that why don't we make this today and we cook this, or tonight we have this playtime which we have planned today. So you really look forward to that, and I'm saying that. This work from home is giving us more quality time at hand because we are not spending any time in commuting from home to work and also going for different meetings. So you have a lot of quality time which is available at hand, and then we are able to, I think, can achieve much better work-life balance in this phase.
All right, yeah, that's a fair point, I think, and the compulsion to do it has probably shown us that we could have done this perhaps better all along, right? I mean, there is that aspect of it, in a sense.
Absolutely, because slowly and gradually, we all are realizing that it's not too bad actually, because we are able to work very efficiently despite of working from different remote corners in the country. The things which you never thought that you have to do in this way, that you are connecting online and trying to communicate with people, and they can be this effective. We are realizing that things are turning out to be much more better, And we are actually realizing that despite of having all these technologies in the past, we were carrying these inhibitions that whether this should be the way to work. But this is teaching us a lot of new things. It is opening our mind, and I'm sure that this will not end with this lockdown period. This will go beyond the lockdown period. There are huge benefits, in this kind of work environment, and we can definitely see how do we balance some of the great positives which this virtual world is giving us in this challenging time to our normal working life. And we can look at how do we optimize our costs in terms of the office, in terms of travel, in terms of various other meetings, and also give better quality time to our people.
Again, like I said, I'll get to the work part of it in a second. But what about the extra time to do things which you otherwise don't get at home? Like, maybe have you gone back to a hobby, picked up a new activity? Are you cooking? What's going on?
Definitely. I think a lot of us are becoming master chefs these days, and it is something which I am also loving. So I'm trying out some very different, unique things. The other day, I made samosas at home. My daughters love that, and then I said, okay, let us try making it at home. Turned out to be good, beyond my expectations. And then one day we made jalebis at home, then pani puris at home. So I'm trying out different things. It's a really good way to learn these cookings. I'm following a chef on YouTube, and his expertise and little effort from my side is really turning out to be good. Actually, never thought that it can be this easy and this good. On top of it, yes, I'm also spending some time in learning yoga these days. Not able to hit the gym, so got onto an app and then keeping myself engaged with that. So these things are really positive, and I think in a way we are utilizing this time and this opportunity in the right way to pick up new things.
We just saw the pictures right now as you were speaking. I have to say the samosas look really professional. They look, absolutely like they've come out of a proper samosa place, one of those famous ones.
So, like I said, I'm using the expertise from a chef and then turning it with little effort. It is actually coming out to be good.
No, I think it's creditable to you that you are doing all of this, because it's not got to be easy, obviously, when it comes to balancing that with everything that's going to come from a work point of view. Now, before I get into those questions, I want to tell you that there's lots of people who have joined us right now. A lot of our regulars from the show, if I will, are also here. They're all wishing you. Many people are saying that they're happy to see you. And well, one of them, Auto DNA, says, I have a Lamborghini Aventador scale model. So there you go. There's somebody who's part of the family in that way. And it's nice to see so many Lamborghini fans as well who have signed on right now. Would you like to just say hello to them?
Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing good, and I'm looking forward to also see your questions, and we will try if we can answer some of them during this conversation. Stay safe, please follow the guidelines what the government is doing. Good times are ahead for sure.
Bilkul. And I will now, like I said, launch into the work part of it inevitably. Again, as I said earlier, there's no rule book for this time. But having said that, now that we're more than a month into this, what are the learnings? What are some of the things that you've been able to establish in terms of some of your daily schedule or a weekly schedule with the team? And then how are you preparing for the time when things start to open up?
So typically we are starting the day with the management call. We update each other from different work areas, what's happening. Also, we are updating from the group side because there are a lot of group interest in India and how things are shaping up there, and a lot of inputs coming from the external affairs, from the internal teams on different subjects which are important for businesses to come. Then this is followed by general, daily routine work which we have. Something very interesting what we are doing is the entire team we have taken up one area for development, and we all are doing online courses in terms of utilizing this time, updating ourselves in new skills. And evening we have a 90-minute quiz session. So the entire dealership team and our team, we get onto a Skype call and we run a quiz for 90 minutes. We cover different products, competition, new products which are expected to come, business processes, And that quiz is really becoming very engaging because the kind of response which I can see from the team is very, very positive. And I think one of the most important thing to do for all of us is to keep our teams positive, to keep them engaged, and also to prepare us better for the times to come. Another important area for us to focus is definitely the new norm which will be after the lockdown. Things will not be the same the way it used to be. We'll see a lot more digital involvement in time to come, and safety will become paramount. So the brands have to communicate very clearly to the customers and prospects that how we are taking care of different safety aspects in our business so that they can conveniently and comfortably interact with us. And just to give you an example, like Lamborghini is an experience in itself. To give a test drive to a customer, everything will change. How do we ensure that the cars are disinfected, people who are going, meeting them, how they are taking care of various processes so that everything is sanitized around them, how we can have one person driver in the car going around for a test drive of the car. So every processes has to undergo a change. Similarly, we will see our showroom spaces, also the workshop spaces, how we bring the car to workshop and deliver them back to customers in a perfect way, ensuring that entire sanitization process is taken care. So we are writing down SOPs for that, preparing each one of us so that we follow those processes, and there is no kind of a chaos once things are opening up. So we are very well prepared to face the situation. All our marketing initiatives and plans for this year is also undergoing a lot of change because things which we were planning to do with experiential now has to probably move to virtual, and we are now evaluating different ways that how we can give the similar kind of an experience to our customers but virtually, keeping in mind their safety, which is of the topmost priority for us. Also using a lot of digital space these days because it's time for us to keep ourselves engaged with customers, prospects. So we are creating new content. The entire plans have revised there, and we are every day innovating new things that how we can keep them engaged while they are at their home and keep them busy with Lamborghini and their thoughts and their dream car, which they always have top of the mind, and they want to always desire that when times are good they want to come back to us and ask for their dream car to come to their garage.
You've told me so many things in that answer because, and a lot of that digital stuff has excited me, obviously, because we've seen our own content shifting so heavily towards digital, and that's been, of course, for the last few years. But right now, what we're doing right now, for example, is an innovation that I had to come up with because we want to make sure that we're not just putting out reruns or just putting out our usual stuff, but getting people to also engage with us. And so, which is why I'm so happy to see so many people who have logged on. And so, to be fair, while I'll continue to ask you my questions, I will ask you some of theirs too. A lot of people saying hello to you still, and there is a lot of talk about the SVJ 63 that was recently launched, and Varun says he he met you there as well. So you can say hello to him. And we've got
Hello.
people who are asking if there will be another one coming to India.
As of now, there are no plans. SVJ 63 is a very special car. It is one of the 63 cars in the world. And Lamborghini has a process to allocate these cars to the customers. We really don't go and sell these cars. And the allocation depends on the kind of car park which customers have for Lamborghini in the past. And we accordingly decide this process. India will never qualify to get one. But as we have always said that for Lamborghini, India is a strategic market for future growth in business. And it is because of this reason that there was one unit which was allocated to India out of the process. So we got one, and we are very proud that India could have one of the 63 car SVJ 63 in the country. I don't see that there is a second one which will come.
How surprised were you when you got that allocation? I mean, I know I was.
I was super excited and super surprised. I think in various meetings and discussions, we keep discussing various aspects of the business. And a lot of times we say that the market is strategic, but the challenges comes when you have to put things in place which are really demonstrating that yes, it is a strategic market and you are doing all the right things from the strategic market perspective. Yes, we made a request with a little hope initially, but when discussions started going ahead, we knew that it can happen because they were getting into senior management discussion and saying that can we do something out of turn for the market. It was, I think, one of the best moments which I had in Lamborghini when we got the confirmation for this exclusive car for the market.
Oh, it was quite stunning, and we just had visuals running while you were talking about it as well. What a car! I mean, it really is in many ways. Well, I don't know what to call the pinnacle when it comes to your range because you kind of keep surprising us with something more, which is even more exciting than the last one. Speaking of which, I mean, this trend, and we've seen it for the last 2 or almost 3 years now,
Yeah,
where anything comes out globally from Lamborghini, you've talked about it at a motor show or you've just unveiled it at the headquarters. And very often, India is amongst the first three to either have a local unveil or a launch or actually have cars going to customers. I mean, that's unheard of in the past and certainly at this end of the market from any other brand.
absolutely, absolutely. And actually, we put in a strategy in place 3 years back, and this strategy was driven by two key pillars. One was we wanted to give the right experience to our customers when it came to new product launches. So we wanted that the customers from India should own the Lamborghinis as and when we start delivering in the other parts of the world, and it should not take a gap of 12 to 15 months time before they see a car coming to the market and the car which is already getting delivered in other parts of the country. This was one key strategy, and uh, that is why you can say that when we launched Urus, we were among the first few markets in the world to launch the car. We started Urus at almost at the same time as we started delivering in other parts of the world. Then we got the Aventador SVJ. Again, India was one of the first few countries in the world actually to get the car for its customer. Then last year we launched the Huracan Evo. We were the first market after the global launch to unveil the car in the country. And this year beginning we unveiled the RWD Huracan Evo. Again, we were among the very first few countries to bring the car. So this we are as a part of strategy, not only planning but also demonstrating on ground that if we are taking a decision, we are also implementing it. Another key important pillar what we worked is how do we bring the international experiences to Indian customers to give them the same experiences
Yeah.
what we give to them at the other parts of the world, and how do we make them enjoy their Lamborghini in the Indian environment, because a lot of people have this inhibition or perception that where do you drive and enjoy Lamborghini in this country. So that is what something we wanted to defy.
And that's not just the Urus. You mean the super sports cars as well.
Absolutely, the
Yeah.
super sports cars. And we started curating those experiences for our customers. And we took some very innovative steps there. Like, for example, track programs are very common, which everybody does. But we did a track program where we invited customers with their Lamborghinis on the track and with our Squadra Corsa team drivers to teach them how they can enjoy their own Lamborghini and improve their skills while driving on the track. So that's a very different feeling what you are giving rather than using just your own fleet and giving them the experience on the track. Similarly, last year we did a 600-kilometer drive in
Yeah.
Lamborghini, Bangalore to Coimbatore to Ooty,
Yeah.
something which is unheard of because people don't believe that you can drive Lamborghinis this far. And we had many cars who has done 800,000 kilometers and we drove just 600 kilometers in 3 days.
Yeah.
And we had 32 Lamborghinis, and of them, 25, 26 were sports cars. So this is really showing a way that you can drive Lamborghinis every day. You can drive and enjoy them on the Indian roads and Indian environment. And this is really helping us to set the brand in the right way in this country. And probably I will say that because we are taking the right decisions in the right direction, also we are leading the super luxury segment in the country. So this is the reward what we are getting from our customers and fans.
Which also is something that we would not have probably foreseen. And this perhaps goes back to the fact that you decided to set up your own sales company here, and you're not working through just an importer like some of
Yeah.
the other brands are now. I must tell you on a personal note as well that some of these inhibitions and some of these preconceived notions, I'll be honest, I carried them too at the start before. I continue to learn and I continue to be educated in any case. And so my first time spending proper time with Lamborghinis was 2007. I was in Sant'Agata Bolognese, the headquarter, and we were shooting a series called Love, Life, and Lamborghini, which was on NDTV 24/7. And now I can't believe it's been that long. It's 12 years. Oh, hang on, it's more than 12 years. Yeah, it's about 12 years. So almost 13. So in fact, this T-shirt I bought it then. So it's that old.
Wow.
This T-shirt I wore it for my anchor links in that show. And at the time we had the Gallardo Superleggera, and that's the car drove most extensively for that show. Besides also driving I guess it was the Aventador already by then. I'm getting it mixed up now. Or maybe the Murcielago was still around, I think.
Murcielago.
Yeah,
Aventador came in 2011 in.
yeah. So it was the Murcielago,
Yeah.
and I spent time driving those cars, and I was amazed that on the one hand, they were not dumbed down sports cars. They were very intense, very driver focused. They needed a lot of input from the driver, and yet they were not intimidating. And you could still drive them out anywhere. We went onto Kacha roads. We went all over the place to shoot. Went into a vineyard, all sorts of stuff. And for me, that was the education. So I completely respect the fact that you're bringing all of that over here. Lots of questions undoubtedly about the Urus, because when you mention that you're leading the segment, the Urus is one of the big reasons why you're leading in the market. So let me jump into it. Gautam says, hi Sharad, the response to the Urus has been phenomenal so far. Did you expect it to be at that level? And there's another question about bringing in perhaps a rugged or more sporty version of the Urus. I don't know how it can
Uh,
get more sporty, but
Yes, absolutely. No, Urus, when we were planning the product and when we were seeing the product from Indian perspective, we were always confident this is going to be the game changer. See, the brand was always very strong in the country. And we used to meet a lot of customers, prospects, who have a very strong desire and aspiration and very passionate about the brand, but they were always challenging that is it really possible for them to enjoy the brand in the Indian environment. And when we had a concept like Urus, which is a beautiful concept and a very unique concept, because when you look at it, it looks like an SUV, but when you drive it, you don't feel like that you're driving an SUV. So how we have created this concept of super SUV, wherein it gives you the versatility of SUV in terms of usability, but in terms of driving dynamics and emotions, it is a perfect Lamborghini, and it carries all the DNA of Lamborghini. So it is a concept which was right, and all these people, we always knew that they would definitely like to buy Urus from us, and it is also reflecting in the demand. 70% of the Urus buyers in India are first-time Lamborghini, which is clearly showing that how we are expanding the family with Urus. So we were always confident about the success of Urus, and what the demand has reflected is going definitely slightly better than what we expected, and it is going very strong. And the 70% of the new buyers who are coming to our family is definitely giving us a lot more confidence about how we will shape up in future, because once they are coming to the Lamborghini family, now we are already seeing them that they want to also have the sports car in the garage.
yeah.
This will help us to expand our sports car portfolio also in times to come.
Tell me though, when you look at the Urus, I mean, it does so many things. I remember when we put up our first review, it was a nice exclusive that I had. We spent so much time with the car, and the phenomenal thing about this car was the fact that it doesn't feel like an SUV. It feels very much like one of the Lamborghinis would. And it does things which you can't believe that an SUV can do.
Absolutely.
Given all of that, the fact that it defies physics in so many ways, the proof is in the pudding, in the sense, getting people to actually drive it. Did you have a lot of people coming in who just wanted a luxury SUV, wanted the name Lamborghini, and then going out with their mind blown?
No, I think the large number of customers who want to buy Urus and who are buying Urus, they are always passionate about the Lamborghini DNA. They wanted something like a super sports car, and are driving the Urus on their own. While sometimes they can be chauffeur driven, but we see a lot of them behind the wheel, steering wheel, and they're driving the car because they want to enjoy the dynamics of the car. So it is not just that they are looking at a luxury SUV. I think that segment is not our segment of customers. We are very clear. Largely, the customers who are buying Urus are people who want to enjoy the dynamics, who want to enjoy the emotions what a Lamborghini brings to them. And yes, it offers all the luxury what a luxury SUV should offer to them.
Yeah, it does. And I had the last picture just now showing me off-roading with that car. And I remember going into it thinking, are you sure you want me to do all this? And then, really pushing the car hard, getting not just dust but gravel to fly. And I had a blast. I didn't want to get out of it, that much I can tell you.
We did a exciting
Yeah,
program last year in India, wherein we were launching Huracan Evo on the track, and we made Urus as the lead car. So
yeah.
all the drivers were chasing Urus with the sports car, and they were not able to beat the lead car. So this really tells that how the car can perform on the track, and when you are driving it on the track, it performs like a sports car.
All right, so a slightly serious question, if you will. Not serious, but I mean an obvious one. Abhay says, Sharad, how do you feel the super luxury market will react post the lockdown?
Yeah, it's a question which a lot of people are asking, and yes, we all know that we are facing some of the most unconventional or uncertain scenario these days. There are a lot of discussions going around that how the economy will behave, what will be the GDP, how the auto industry will grow or behave in times to come. What I will say that definitely there will be a slowdown and the segment will see a decline in this year. Uh, but at Lamborghini, we are fortunate that we are carrying a very strong order bank for Urus, and also with our recent launches. As you know, that beginning this year we launched the Huracan Evo RWD. We are having a very healthy order bank in our hand, and I think this order bank should be a big support to us in these challenging times. But having said this, yes, the segment definitely will see a sharp decline, and the should be even sharper than the mass volume segment of cars, what we will see in India.
All right, we're seeing shots of the Evo on the screen. The model has done better than you think, I guess. Even globally, everybody says that the response has been terrific. It's compelled Lamborghini to do so many versions and variants of the car as well, right? And we're not done seeing that.
Absolutely. See, every car what we are launching is launched with the concept in mind. So when we were launching Huracan Evo, we were very clear that we want a car which can meet the performance of the Huracan Performante if you drive the car on the track. But at the same time, it should be a perfect everyday driving car where we can amplify the everyday driving emotions of our customers. So it is a car which was defined and designed with the clear concept that it has to be best in terms of performance if you are looking at driving on the track, but at the same time it should give you a huge comfort and experience when you are driving it on an everyday life. And this is a very unique combination again,
Yeah.
because when people are buying sports cars, also they are looking at that how they can use it more and more in their everyday life, and Evo is a perfect answer. And that is the reason we are getting a very good response for this product in India and also in other markets across the world. We recently unveiled for the derivative in the range, the Huracan Evo RWD. And if you just go back to Huracan is the most successful model in the Lamborghini history. And one of the reasons why it was successful is that we could offer a complete range to our customers, be it the Huracan all-wheel drive or the rear-wheel drive, and then we came with the Performante. And we want to do the same thing with the Huracan Evo family. So we have recently unveiled the second derivative in the family, and in time to come, we will see that we will look at more derivatives in the Huracan Evo family so that we can give the experience and also meet the requirement of different set of people in the super luxury sports car segment, because there are different people who look at different things in the car. Now, Huracan Evo RW is for the purist driver who is looking that the technology should not intervene much and he should be able to enjoy the raw power or the pure driving emotions when he's enjoying the car. So we will look at more derivatives in time to come, where we can meet more different segment of people in this segment.
Small hint, what derivatives? I'm getting excited.
So I will only say at this time that at Lamborghini we always say that we are future shapers, and our new models or new derivatives should always be aligned with this core value what we have. And the new derivative will definitely be in this line and be more exciting whenever we will launch it.
Okay, now I'm going to play out something which I just want our audience to watch, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it because I know that in terms of both the emotional as well as the let's say the sensible side, this is a video that will get so much attention. So just hang in there.
Okay.
Okay, so what did we see there just now, Sharad? That is, it's deadly, it's futuristic, it's modern. You got to tell us more about it.
Yes, so Sign is the first hybrid from Lamborghini, and this really tells that how we are looking at this new technology from a Lamborghini perspective. Say that we are future shapers. So for the first time, we have used supercapacitors in this car to give more power, and this is really unique in this segment. And this is really showing that how Lamborghini is not just looking at a new technology, but we are also looking at technology which can give the best performance of the car. So this helps us to keep the car lighter, but at the same time also helps us to add more power to the car. And the sign, if you just go with the name, it means thunderbolt in the Bologna dialect. And I think this is the right combination in terms of its design, in terms of its V12 engine, and also the new technology what it is introducing to the world. So it is really arriving to the world in a very powerful way, and making the world to see that how the new technologies will shape the future in the Lamborghini world.
So tell us this. I mean, Domenicali has spoken about it quite candidly that hybridization is coming, but the intent to do that is not to replace, it's to enhance the performance and yet achieve some green credentials. So it's not as if the big engines are going to become small engines. You're going to just take the big engine and then add,
Yeah.
another layer of experience over that. So how soon do you think that's going to become the new norm in a sense? And then isn't the Urus also an ideal sort of a test subject for that?
Absolutely, and this is not something which will be away for a long time, and we will see that this technology will be part of our cars in time to come. We are already talking about that whenever we are now bringing the new generation of our models, they will be hybridized, and this will be part of our cars. But as you rightly said, that we need to use this technology to enhance the power and the performance and the emotions which the customer expects from a Lamborghini without compromising the DNA of our cars. Because we do not want to compromise the experience which the customer look forward from Lamborghini. In fact, we need to look at how the new technology is able to enhance it further. So this will be the direction for us. And yes, you will see that the new generation of our cars will be hybridized.
All right, that I can't wait because seeing what's happening at the group as well, and that's the other huge advantage that, of course, you have that you're part of this giant group which has so much innovation happening. What we've seen with the Taycan from Porsche, for example, we know now that there is technology that's available, the 800-volt technology, especially, that's now been proven to just give you this unimaginable kind of experience in
Yeah.
terms of power and driving. So no, that's great. I'm looking forward to it. Real world questions now again. This one's from Rajesh. Any plans of getting pre-owned vehicles into India through your brand? And Sharad, you also have a rich experience in the pre-owned business, having been with MFCW as well. That's first choice.
Yes. The regulations in the country, are not very favorable to import a pre-owned car from the other market and sell it.
But you have a
However,
decent car park now, I would say. I mean, I know it's not
yeah,
many
we
cars,
have more
but
than 250 Lamborghinis
yeah,
now on Indian roads. So we have a decent car park, and in fact, we also launched the pre-owned car program for Lamborghini. It's called Selezione,
yeah.
and we are able to create the same experience for our customers in the pre-owned segment like a new car. So the car will be certified, it will come with warranty, and all the experience what a customer gets from a new car purchase, the same experiences are being extended to the pre-owned car purchase. Having said this, given the high popularity of our brand and the demand what we have in the marketplace, we rarely see a pre-owned car coming to our showrooms. Most of these cars are moving from a customer garage to another customer garage. I think there are already customers who are waiting for the car park which already have in the market. So we rarely see a transaction happening through us. I think pre-owned Lamborghinis are quite high in demand, and normally they are moving from customer to customer.
That's true, and that's traditionally been the way. But I guess as that car park continues to grow, you'll have a greater role to play in terms of making sure that these cars are up to scratch. They're staying to the level that you want them to stay. Because as a brand, I'm sure that's something that's important for you.
Absolutely, we want that. And fortunately, another very important dimension of the business is that because the customers who are buying Lamborghini, they're very passionate about their cars, and I think they take care of these cars like their babies. So we really don't see that people are not keeping these cars or their Lamborghini up to the standards, and most of these cars are maintained in the spick and span conditions by our customers. So that is why it becomes very easy for a pre-owned car buyer to actually go and buy directly from a customer, because he has complete peace of mind, because he knows how the owner is already taking care of this price position what he's having in his garage. So that makes things much easier for them to go and buy directly from them.
That's true. And a little bit of an extension to what we were speaking just now about hybridization and, of course, the cyan. There's a question from Tejasvi. It is, when can we expect an EV from Lamborghini?
Yeah,
Pure
interesting
EV.
question. We are definitely seeing that the world for automotive is moving towards electrification, and this is definitely the future. However, having said this, we are also very clear that anything which we offer from Lamborghini has to deliver to the customer the emotions, the driving
Yeah.
dynamics, or the performance which a customer expects from a Lamborghini. What we are seeing that the technology in the electric space is still evolving, and it has not yet been evolved or reached to an extent that we can see that it can offer the same emotions or the driving dynamics or the performance which the customer wants from their own Lamborghini. Uh, just to give you an example, we also introduced our concept, Terzo Milano,
Yeah.
which was giving to the world a perspective that in case a Lamborghini has to develop an electric car, how our perspective will be with that kind of a concept. But I think we will wait for the technology to evolve, and once we see that it is happening, we will see that how we can also make this as a part of Lamborghini. But as I mentioned earlier, right now the next step looks like that it is hybrid, and this is what we will see in our future models or the future generation of models which will come in time.
Now, I have to say that when you did show that concept, there, so it got everybody very excited because straight away people thought, "Oh, this is it! Here it comes! It's happening
Correct.
now!"
Yeah.
We've got the car that everybody had sort of anticipated might happen at some point from Lamborghini. Tell me though that when you have concept cars like that come out, and your customer is a fairly evolved customer. They travel a lot. They are well read. They know what's happening. What was the reaction? And did you actually start getting some even some requests saying, "Hey, I want one"? Does that happen?
Absolutely, because whenever we unveil a concept, it also starts speculation in the market that when is Lamborghini coming out with a production car with this kind of a concept. Fortunately, we made it very clear that this is our perspective of the future electric car, what we see, because there is a lot of discussions going around in the world. This clearly shows that the technology is on our mind. We are already looking at the technology, but we are also very clear that there will be no Lamborghini which will be offered in the market which cannot give the emotions and the dynamics or the experience which the customers look for from a Lamborghini. So we will never compromise that. So yes, it gives a message to the market that we have the technology in mind, we have the concepts in mind, and as and when we see that the right time will come, the technology is meeting the requirement, we can definitely be ready to bring it to the market.
Well, you got a comment, not a question really, from Vishwas, which kind of lifts off from what I was talking about earlier, saying, "Come on, Sharad, the Taycan from your group is leading the way. It's already there, the technology."
Yes, absolutely. The technology is there, but if you compare the positioning, what the group, other model, or the brands are presenting to the market, they're very different. What Lamborghini is trying to offer to the customer, and that has to still evolve to this level, wherein
Yeah.
it can offer that emotion or the sound or the vibration or the performance, and the durability. And when you're driving the car on the track, I think the technology still has to move to that extent. When you are
Okay.
buying a Lamborghini, these are the parameters which take precedence over everything else.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And there's a question that I would not have expected today, but I'm going to ask you anyway because I like the fact that somebody is, genuinely wanting to know. This is Nitin. He wants to know what makes the Veneno special, and if you could tell him a little bit about that car.
It's one of the very special concept what Lamborghini launched, and I will say that it is also one of the favorite and the most special car which a lot of Lamborghini enthusiasts have. I think it is always the design, the technology, and the timing of the concept, how we are actually aligning it with our core value of being future shapers. Coming out with the design and technology which are ahead of times that make these models special. And I will say that for Vinino.
Yeah, and as we are speaking, I've got the specs of the car on the screen. 690 Nm of torque. I mean, and you know how quickly that is available to you when you're driving. And the car looks, there have been lots of concepts and lots of one-offs and limited editions that you have done, which have been inspired by fighter jets. And, there's been so much. You can argue that there have been other cars, not just the Veneno, which have been really extreme to look at. But there's something about the Veneno, especially the rear, as we are seeing right now on the screen, the Roadster. It really gets you to go weak in the knees.
Absolutely, the design is so astonishing that, as you rightly said, it really makes you to actually go down and to your knees and say that, wow, what is the concept coming in?
Oh, it's beautiful. So I hope you like that answer, Nitin. And we've got people asking about engaging with customers or prospects. How are you going about and doing that? You mentioned you're going digital with it already. So is this a process that will begin maybe post 3rd May, or are you already in touch with some of the prospective customers, people who may have questions, etc.?
No, we are in touch with each and every customer and prospect of us, because also it is a time for us to connect with them, ask their well-being, if they need any support from us.
Yes.
Plus, we are also connecting with them on different aspects of the Lamborghini experience. Like, for example, how should they take care of their Lamborghini in these times? What are the tips follow so that their car remains in the right condition in the garage? Second thing, we are also trying to send them various tools, various initiatives with which they can engage them during this time. Just to give you an example, we are sharing the configuration link, and we are using this time to engage with our customers and prospects so that they can design their dream Lamborghini, create a configuration. Our team is helping them to design that better, answering their queries around that. And why not to create something very unique and very different this time? This is something which is very close to their heart. They're very passionate, and they can actually use this time during the lockdown period to create their dream car. We're
Tell me
also
this
engaged.
though, I'm sorry to break in there, but I have to ask you, when you talk about this, sort of configuring your own Lamborghini, typically this would have happened at the dealer end, and now you're trying to sort of make it virtually available to them at their own homes. Am I understanding it correctly?
Some months back, we launched the virtual configurator for our customers. So right now, it is available to everybody on their phones or on their laptops. They can access the link and actually go on and design their own Lamborghini.
Wow.
So this is there. But what we are doing now is we are sharing those links. We are actually doing a live session with our customers and fans, prospects, where we are helping them that how they can use the configurator. A lot of people are coming back to us asking their queries on the configurator. Can I make this combination? If I do this kind of a combination, how will it look in the car? Do you have some more reference images? Do you see some customers in other parts of the world who have designed something like this? So those kind of queries is what we are handling. And apart from this, we are also doing a lot of crossword quizzes for our customers, engaging with them. So this is a time for us to actually engage with them in the right way so that Lamborghini stays close to them, and we respect the passion and the emotion what they have for the brand.
I have to ask you now. It's the second time you mentioned the quiz. The first one was for the employees. Now
Yes.
you're talking about one that you do with the customers. So, do you want to just ask at the top of your head, maybe 1 or 2 questions? We can ask people to give answers right now. Let's see how many get it right.
So I'll ask a very simple one. So what's the 0 to 100 for Huracan Evo?
Okay, guys, that's your question from Sharad. How fast does the Huracan Evo do 0 to 100 kilometers per hour? So let's see the answers that start to come in. In the meanwhile, interesting point from Amir from our team, who says it's been very nice that, and he's very glad that the Lamborghini Museum is also available online for a virtual visit, and so it's the best time to visit.
Absolutely. Something where you can always go, and I always get so much excited after going there that you feel like you're lost in a different world. You don't want to come out of it.
No, and I mean, I've been there many times, but it never gets old, and especially because, of course, a lot of the exhibits keep changing. So there's no doubt that that's probably the primary reason. But having said that, even the cars which I get to see over and over again, like you see the roots of what became the Urus, the LM, and then you've got cars like the Countach and the first Miura. Oh, I mean, just talking about it is giving me goosebumps. So
Absolutely. You have a different rush which suddenly starts in your body. You feel very different.
I've pulled up the museum website, so it's on the screen right now. People can have a look at what I'm talking about. It's not a giant museum, and I think that's the other nice thing about it. It's kind of intimate. You can spend time with each of the cars. I love it. And so that's the shop where I bought this T-shirt. So, I
Absolutely.
it was all new then. I think 2007, all of that development was new. The factory had just expanded. In fact, no, hang on, the factory hadn't expanded. The expansion happened later, and then
Much.
thanks to you guys, we were at the production line for the Urus, because that, of course, was the next big expansion when you had a whole new line come up for the first time, which doubled the capacity of Santa Gata. So that was pretty special too, wasn't it?
Absolutely special, and I think very unique and special was the dinner on the assembly line. I
Oh,
think
I
something
should have pulled
even
out
I
some of
never
those
imagined.
pictures. Yeah, I should have pulled out some of those pictures. That was, yeah, I don't have words to describe it.
Yes, you see your dream world around you, and you are in mid of it. I can't imagine a better evening than that, actually.
And I must tell our viewers that to begin with, uh, firstly, our hearts go out to Italy right now, because northern Italy has been, of course, worse affected by the current situation. So we certainly are glad that things are starting to stabilize. But if you like Italy like most Indians do, and you like Italian food like most Indians do, the
Yeah,
great thing about Santa Gata and that region is that you also have some of the most spectacular food that you can get your
absolutely.
hands on.
Bologna has some of the nice
Yeah.
restaurants around. It's always been an experience going there, and I hope that I'll be able to visit that soon.
All right, so we got lots of answers that have come in for the question that you asked. So you might want to maybe have another question, because the answers I'm getting are either 3 seconds or 2.9 seconds. There's one person who says, "What are you going to give us if we get the right answer? 2 seconds." 2.2 seconds. Also, I'm getting 2.7 seconds, but 2.8 seconds. Okay, I've got another one. But 3 and 2.9 seem to be the most common answers. Now, do
Absolutely.
you want to give it away just yet to them? What the
The,
correct answer is?
the right answer is 2.9 seconds.
2.9.
Congratulations to all the winners there.
Well, now you've used the word winner, by the way. That's dangerous
Yes, yes.
territory.
So we can do a lucky draw for them. Uh,
Okay, there you
More
go.
than happy to send something across after the lockdown period.
All right, so all of you who have answered correctly, don't worry, we'll fish your names out. 2.9 seconds is right. And
Absolutely.
maybe, if I may, I'm going to throw in one question as well. I just very briefly and very, inaccurately, I might add, alluded to the car that's considered the predecessor to the Urus. So, very quickly, guys, fastest finger first. What car is that? What am I talking about? Old car from Lamborghini's heritage, which has, in many ways, nothing to do with the Urus and so much to do with the Urus. And I think everybody's talked about it in their reviews. So, let's see if
Yes.
you remember this one. And all right, so a lot of people are very happy with what you've said. And so, okay, so there I can see a lot of people are still sending it in. A lot of people are also now talking about the video games. The fact that Lamborghini is so popular in so many different formats, as Forza, there's all, and the confusion sometimes is that you see some cars which are featured in that game, and you wonder, is this just a one-off for the game? Was it just a one-off in the real world? Was it just a concept? Because that's the cool thing about Lamborghini in many ways.
Absolutely, and I think we have also a lot of focus on the new young generations from our brand. We are the most youngest brand, I will say, in the super sports car segment, and we think that for us it is very important to engage with our young audience, young fans at the right time, and that is why gaming becomes one of the important pillar in our approach of marketing. As you also remember that we recently unveiled a concept, Lamborghini Vision 12, which was
Yeah.
especially developed only for gaming. So this really showcases that how important is for us. See, in our generations, we grew up by seeing a poster of Lamborghini in my room. That is how I was, and I don't know how it was for you. But we always used to, look at Countach or Muras. But the current generation, they are growing up not by poster, but they are seeing them in the video games, and that is where we want to catch their imagination alive. And we want to create the Lamborghini lovers at the right age, at a very early age, so that when they grow up and when they are successful, Lamborghini is part of their dream and their life.
I must tell you, I had the double spread poster of the Countach, the one that you have to sort of join in the middle and then create that long big one. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I used to have that poster.
Yeah, yeah. We used to look at for those auto magazines who is publishing a Lamborghini picture, and I need to cut it out and put it there. That is how
Absolutely.
I used to, do in my younger age.
No, it's amazing how those designs, the Diablo, the Countach, they certainly got a lot of people's attention, and maybe created some of those dreams for them.
Absolutely, they were very futuristic, and I don't know. I can't still, go away with the thought of Murad. Even when I see the car today, it just mesmerizes me. And despite of the design now almost 50 years old, but
Yeah.
you still find it so fresh, so futuristic, and definitely that was something way ahead of its time,
Oh,
and that
absolutely.
makes it unique actually.
Absolutely. No, I think, for me, if you ask me, frankly, I know the Countach gets a lot of the attention, but for me, the Miura has been probably the most exciting and sexy design. And so when they did the concept, and everybody got really excited about it a few years ago, well, I wouldn't mind if it comes back to production, I can tell you. Okay, a
Well,
lot
good.
of, no, please finish.
No, no. You were saying something. No, I said Countach always gets a lot of attention, because the vertical doors became a new statement of lifestyle. That
Yeah,
that car,
yeah.
nobody could imagine before that time that doors can also go up. That was something which was beyond imagination, and we all were dreaming that what is this concept all about.
Oh, absolutely, very futuristic. Of course, no surprises. Unlike 2.9 and 3 seconds, here nobody's getting it wrong. Everybody has the right answer for my question, and yeah, I think we'll have to do another lucky draw here because it is, the car. There you go. It's on your screens now. The LM2, the car that paved the way for off-road vehicles, is what that big text says on that Lamborghini website, as you can see it. And what a nice red. We usually see the car in browns and mustards and things like that, but this red that's on the Lamborghini site right now is just a stunner. That car is a very important part of the heritage, and it always has been. But of course, it's got a lot of attention of late thanks to the Urus.
Yes, absolutely. And Urus carries a lot of design cues from LM002, and that is what Lamborghini is all about. That how do we consistently carry that heritage of our design and our DNA into the new futuristic models what we are unveiling to the market.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's the reason why we've been also excited of late, because we've seen so much of that where you look at the car and you straight away know from the lines that it's a Lamborghini. I think what Mitya and his team are doing is quite phenomenal. So, hats off to him. And a lot of
Yes,
people don't realize,
they make our job very easy actually.
no, and a lot of people don't realize that he's also the guy who did the Taycan. I mean, he did the Mission E while he was at Porsche. So, it's no surprise perhaps that, all right, seeing a lot of people still talking about the LM002. And
I think we should find a way to do a lucky draw from this list, if possible. I don't know how it is possible. I'm more than happy to send them a nice surprise from Lamborghini.
that's very kind of you, Sharad. So there you go, guys. An impromptu little contest that emerged out of nothing, and very kind of Sharad to offer that to you. So yes, I think two of you who've answered, we're going to pick out correct answers from both the question he asked and I asked, and yeah, we'll get you something across. It's obviously the brand which always evokes so much emotion, so much excitement. So before we start to wrap this up, Sharad, I have to ask you. Um, you mentioned that the Evo family is not done yet. There's still more coming there. But when you look at the kind of model lines that now, I think broadly three lines, since the Urus is also a part of it. Um, this time next year, how do you see the scenario? Do you see all new models? Do you still continue to see the current models having a greater longevity? And also, what are you picking up from headquarters in terms of not just delays for India, but obviously delays around the world. I mean, headquarters is in Italy, in a region which has been very badly affected.
Yes. So, answering your first question, definitely around this time we will have some more derivatives in our model range for our customers, if I have to say, which they can look at. And as we always look at that, how we keep on bringing new futuristic models and variants for our customers to meet their expectations, and also to redefine the performance, the design, and the experience of a Lamborghini. We will continue to do that. On the second question, yes, there are challenging scenario in different markets, and also more so in Italy. The plant is under shutdown till 3rd of May. And we are now working on and hoping that we will be able to start some production activities from first week of May. But this will also mean that there will be definitely some delay in delivering the dream Lamborghini cars to our customers, and we are already requesting them to be patient, and very soon it will be there in their garage. We anticipate a delay between 3 to 5 weeks, but also at Lamborghini, we will leave no stone unturned in terms of shrinking this period and see that how soon we will be able to bring this their dream Lamborghini to their garage and to their life. So we all are committed to that, but we have to do it in a right way, because right now for us the priority is our people, their safety and their health, and also our customers and prospects, their safety and their health. So that is the topmost priority for us in these times.
Okay, I must tell you that Balbir Dhillon, that is, has joined and he's watching. So he's saying hi to you and me.
Hi, Balbir.
It's wonderful to wonderful to see him here. So I have to then quickly do a. It's not really a rapid fire. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, maybe 3-4 questions in quick succession, and I just want you to give me the top of mind answer that you have.
Okay.
All right. So first things first. If you were to spec out your Urus, what color on the inside, what color on the outside?
I think I'll take yellow exterior with the red interiors.
Oh yeah, very nice. Great option. Okay. The of the recent cars that have come to the market, the one that's excited you the most?
SVJ, unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that was a no-brainer. And what a color! I mean, I remember that the pictures you shared with me. What an absolutely spectacular color. Okay, of the cars from Lamborghini's heritage, the one that gives you the most amount of excitement and goosebumps?
Miura is my favorite all time.
Yeah, you said that actually. So, all right. And last thing I think would be that once things start to normalize and once the situation improves, what's the first thing that you would do by way of some kind of a customer activation?
I think the first and foremost thing will be to communicate to our customer that we are ready in the new environment, and we will take every step possible to ensure the safety of our cars, their experience, and our customers and our people. I think this is something which we need to build, and then rest of the business can move, because we need to address the fear which a lot of people will have in their mind before they want to go back to the earlier life.
Yeah, that's true. We had somebody saying yellow as well, so I have just written saying my choice is yellow as well. that one, it's right up there.
It's stunning, and at some point, it's very difficult to believe that you can love the SUV in yellow so much. It looks so exciting to me.
Yeah,
and
God.
It's the Lamborghini design which can pull this kind of a color option.
I remember when we went to drive the car in Rome. We had seen the videos. The car looked stunning in so many different colors, and everybody. I remember all the other international journalists who were there. It was Ormaz and me from India, and everybody was like, I hope they have the one in the red because on camera it's going to pop. And I'm like, listen, there's one outside in yellow. Have you not seen it? It's outside the lobby. It's there. There's no guesswork. It has to be yellow. And the car I drove on the road, of course, was dark blue, but then the one I drove on the track was yellow.
Yellow. I don't know, Siddharth, if you've seen, we have now recently launched 2 more new colors in Urus, which is the Verde Mantis, the green, and also the orange.
Yeah.
And the car looks stunning. I'm waiting for the cars to come to the market soon, but I'm sure these are the colors which signifies with Lamborghini, and I think we are multiplying now those color options onto Urus and showcasing that how these colors can still look stunning even on a design of an SUV.
That green I have seen, and I can tell you that, and there's the other green as well, the one that we had at the off-road track. I remember outside the test drive area. So, but the new green, the one you're talking about, the Mantis, it's another stunning color, absolutely stunning. Yellow Rus awesome. Siddharth says Kinjal. So yeah, I think everybody loves that. So okay, so as we wrap this up, then Sharad, your thoughts on just the way ahead, not just for Lamborghini but the entire industry. There was a question from someone. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting who it was from. Talking about, would you expect some government intervention?
Uh, Yes, we do have expectation that government will definitely need to intervene in the current scenario. See, we all know that the scenario is very uncertain and it's going to be very challenging. And it's not going to be challenging for automotive, but also all the possible segments where businesses exist. Once the lockdown is over, the priority is that how do we bring back the economy to the normal
Yeah,
scenario, and the government has a big role to play. There are a lot of right steps which the government is already taking, but I think one of the area which the government has to look at, that how do they manage the cost of capital for the country, because there are a lot of business enterprises which are carrying huge inventories, and these inventories will not be moving out faster. They will be moving out at a pace which is slower than normal. And the cost of capital is going to be a big cost for them to manage. So they need to look at this area. How do they support? How the banking system can support this, subsidize this, and keep them liquid. We need
yeah,
to ensure that the liquidity is there in the system. During these trying times, every business enterprise is looking at that how they can support people, which is also in cost because there are no revenues. So they need to also see that how they can come back to normalcy after the lockdown period is over. I think the priority is that right now is people, health, safety, basic requirements, and once this period is over, then how do we actually move the economy faster into the normal position? My suggestion or my advice to everybody is that we need to stay positive. We need to find new ways to keep ourselves engaged, and I think we should use this time to pick up the passion or the hobby or something which we always wanted to do, spend time with our loved ones, and wait for the right time for us to actually get back to normal. Things will change. We need to stay positive, and everything will be fine soon.
I love that. I love that positive note because you know me and I know you now for so many years that one thing we have in common is this always glass half full, optimistic kind of approach. I love that. I think that is the best way to be, and I'm sure we'll see better days soon. Hang in there because I know it's also a very tough time for the industry and certainly for you, your dealers, your teams at the headquarter. But thank you for taking the time out today and especially doing it on the weekend.
It's always pleasure, Siddharth, to chat with you. I always look forward to the discussions with you. They are always exciting and very enriching. Thank you so much.
Likewise. No, I truly appreciate your time. I know we talked about doing this for some days now, and we were trying to sort of hone in on what's the best time and best way to do it. So I think I'd like to believe it's worked out well today. Guys, all of you who are watching as well, I must tell you that Sharad's name was right at the top of that list in terms of getting him onto freewheeling. So I'm really happy today that he's been on the show. And we've shown you some really exciting cars today. So as we are ending and saying goodbye to Sharad, I'm going to play out one of those videos again. So you guys have to choose and tell me which one you want me to play because I've got so many comments. All the episodes we've played out videos, nobody's commented so much on the pictures. Today, so many of you have said, wow, look at all this stuff. And that's Lamborghini for you. So quick.
So before you play, I would like to also thank all the viewers. Thanks for joining us today. Lovely to have you here. And my best wishes to all of you. Please stay positive. Follow all the guidelines from the government. We have good times ahead. Stay strong and be safe. Thank you.
Wish you and Lamborghini India the very best as well, Sharad, as well to your family. And please stay safe. I hope that we are able to meet soon in the physical world, but always, of course, with everything done in the right time, in the right way, as you already said. So again, thank you so much, and it was lovely chatting.
Thank you so much. Look forward to see you soon.
All right, thanks so much. That then, folks, was Sharad Agarwal, who had joined us from his home in Mumbai, talking to you about Lamborghini India, the plans ahead, and there's lots of excitement. There's so many more digital outreach, innovations that are still coming from Lamborghini, as he mentioned. The fact that they're also going to be looking at different protocols in terms of the test drives, in terms of delivering vehicles, in terms of even servicing existing vehicles. And then now let me see if any of you have Well, a lot of people have said happy weekend to Sharad and stay home, stay safe. Yes, absolutely. But none of you have answered my question. So I'm going to just play out the video that I want then, guys, at the end. So, I played out the Huracan Evo, we had the Cyan, we had the Urus, we had the SVJ 63. So one of those. If you want to see that, ping me now, and then I will play that out for you. That's the way this live thing works. And those of you who answered correctly the questions that were asked for the 0 to 100 speed on the Huracan Evo, and then of course on the question I asked about the LM002, lucky that both those people who have answered correctly, we will do a lucky draw, and lucky for you that you're going to get some prizes then from Lamborghini. And that was not planned, I can tell you. It was very kind of Sharad to have done that for us. And okay, am I seeing any messages? Am I seeing any messages? Okay, you know what? Maybe this is not updating because the last message has been there for a while. But Cyan says Chetan. So that's it. We will play that out. And you know what? You guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have plenty more guests lined up for you next week, including, we'll have, I think Santosh Iyer from Mercedes will be the first one on Monday, perhaps. So I will have that updated to you very soon. And I see more than one request now for the Cyan, so I will play that out. If you must step out during this lockdown, please only do so if you absolutely have to for essentials or anything else. And if you do, please wear your seatbelts. And of course, wear your masks, sanitize your hands. I don't have to tell you any of this. You all know it already. And please take care of yourselves, your loved ones. And here comes the video that I promised. I'll leave you with that. Have an awesome weekend.